Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk, brought to you by Wisdom Yard Television. I am Odunayo Adelere, your host. And with me in the studio this morning, I have...
I'm Ambassador Rochimorilu, son of the prophetess, the man. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching WITV. This is nothing but Let's Talk. We talk to educate, we talk. We do nothing, just talk.
I love the fact that you are dazzling this morning, and yes, today being O1 best Saturday.
Exactly the point. You see, I do tell people, I do advise them that they should not allow Nigerians matter to give them headache. Because there are some things that you need to do to make yourself happy. Even if the leaders of the so-called country are not making us happy, we need to make ourselves happy.
Yeah, that's why he do clamor that don't put Nigeria matter on your mind. Because putting Nigeria matter on your mind can actually give you high blood pressure, which can lead to hypertension, and from there lead to sudden death. And I don't think anybody actually wants to die young in Nigeria now. It's not even Nigeria, all over the world. So yeah, welcome to another edition whereby we talk to inform, to educate, to communicate, to gesticulate, to talk whatever thing that we feel. And this is a platform where you get the latest updates, the latest news, anything going out circulating in the OY world. You can come to WITV, trusted to get everything you want. On today's show, it will not be an exemption. And we know what has been going on in Nigeria recently, whereby there is lack of food. Let me call it lack of food. Don't let me say hike in prices. Lack of food, because food are expensive to get. That is why we are lacking it. And we know what the federal government is actually making the Nigerians feel right now. Nigerians are on hot seats, if you would agree with me.
Exactly the point.
But today, we want to talk about the 50,000 naira grants that Tinubu approves, that they should give to 100,000 families in Nigeria, and not for life, it's just for 3 months.
Well, with the population of Nigeria, 100,000 family was selected for the 50,000 grant. I believe that is not the next thing in the face of the country. That's with the hardship that the country is going through right now.
Yeah.
You see, I don't know what is wrong with our heads. Those people that believe they call themselves rulers, that they are ruiners. They call themselves rulers of this.
They are not rulers.
They are not rulers, they are ruiners. You see, this issue of minimum wage is still pending on their table. The minimum wage issue has not been addressed.
I think the federal government is already pushing the minimum wage to the state.
Back to the state. Let's forget about that one now. Don't let us go to the state presently. But the minimum wage issue is still pending on the table of the president. I believe the president have the final say, because there are some allocations that do come from the federal to the state level.
Sir, according to this 50,000 grant that he wants to give to the families, 100,000 families, he's still going to allocate 10 billion naira for each state in Nigeria. Let
me tell you this, that is not what we need at this point in time. What we need at this point in time is for the refinery of the country to work. Yeah. When the refinery works, when the price of the PMS comes down, what happened to the food commodity? The price will also
Everything
drop.
Will come down.
Now the refineries are not working.
Even the one that is planning to work
got burnt recently.
Night.
Even the effort of the so-called refinery were being jeopardized by those people. For instance, we have the crude oil in Nigeria. Yeah. How come Dangote went ahead to be importing crude oil from outside the country? Why we have the crude oil at the point of our nose here? Automatically, there are some set of people which consider themselves untouchable, that try to jeopardize the effort of those people that believe they want to drive this country forward. Now look at the president. I don't believe the president even knows what he's doing. If the president knows what he's doing, 50,000 grant for 100,000 household is not the next step. The next step is to make sure you fix the refinery. Let the refinery start working.
My question is it 100,000 families that actually live in?
Let's forget about the 100,000.
That
is why I said earlier, with the population of Nigeria,
is it 100,000 families that actually wallow in poverty?
How come did they arrive to 100,000 families that they wanted to give 50,000 naira each for 4 months? Is that going to be enough?
I don't think it's going
to. What will 15,000 naira do? That is not the point.
For 3 months, not even for 1. So
let me tell you this.
Let's assume, okay, I'm sorry, sir. Let's assume you want to give to every families in Nigeria that actually wallow in poverty for 3 months. After that 3 months, are we still going? Are we not going to come back into that same poverty?
Was that really going to solve their problem? The problem of that 100,000 family.
Is it not going to come back? Are we not going to come back to where we are going to?
It will surely come back. It was like they don't know what they are doing. all this issue that this federal government is raising is like to cajole Nigeria, and they have forgotten that the eyes of Nigerians are opened. Now look at what Akpabio said. Akpabio could come out to say that to the whole Nigerians. I believe if Akpabio believed that one day he will surely leave that seat, that he will come back, except if Akpabio have the plan of relocating to outside the country. No lie about that. Akpabio could come out to say, no matter the kind of pressure, no matter the kind of threat, no matter the kind of blackmail, that if the presidential jet the proposal was brought to their table, that they are ready to approve.
He said no blackmail can actually stop them from doing it.
How much do you think they are going to use in buying the presidential jet?
Billions.
They'll still go ahead to go and borrow that money.
We are still in debt.
The money that was saved, how many years now? When Babalokon came on board, for 2 months, they said they saved 1 trillion from the fuel subsidy. The money that
what was it used for?
Supposed to use for the fuel subsidy, they saved 1 trillion naira. Okay, now for 2 months, for one year now, I believe for 1 year they should be able to save 6 trillion naira. Where are those money?
I'm sorry, for 2 months was how many trillion?
1 trillion.
So for 1 year it should be 6 trillion naira.
It should be 6 trillion.
So, let's assume they even saved that 2 trillion naira. What was it channeled to? What did they use it for? My own summary to the federal government is giving each family 50,000 naira for 3 months is not the solution to the problem we're actually facing in Nigeria right now. 2 major problems we are facing in Nigeria. That is the full subsidy.
Insecurity. We have the insecurity.
That's two major. Let me say 3 major problems we are facing in Nigeria. We have the full problem, that is petrol, PMS and all that. We have the security problem and we have the food problem. And the one that is the highest of it, should I say the food is the highest of it?
The food is the highest.
Because without food, people keep dying every day.
The reason why the price of food hiked was because of the subsidy that was removed.
So once the subsidy is gone and the border is open.
What Tinubu promised was that he is going to make sure that the refinery, even the Port Harcourt refinery, worked within the period of 6 months. That was
when he came
December.
On board, yeah.
When he came on board. Now the refineries are not working. You were just trying to see how you are going to manipulate people by saying you want to give people money. Was that really going to solve the problem of the people? Even if you give billions of naira, those that are working with you, eating billions of naira from your cabinet, does that really solve their problem? They still want to eat more.
They are trying to play smart with Nigerians, but I feel Nigerians should have wised up by now. Look at the case of Kenya for an example. Kenya.
What happened recently in Clyde?
Now,
I saw it in the news yesterday when they said the Federal High Court of Kenya had to approve that the country should use military force to stop the protest. That police can no longer stop the protest based on what they put their hands into, because they believe people were so fools to the extent in which they can just wake up early in the morning and begin to make one law. Recently in Lagos, some months back, the governor of Lagos, this our Lagos, came out to begin to cajole. He thinks we are all fools. That LASMA duty was to not to arrest people, was to pass the traffic. At the end of the day, we later got to know that LASMA was even given a target, the amount of money that they are going to generate into the revenue of Lagos State, into the port of Lagos State.
So how are they not going to stop?
How are they not going to molest people? How are they not going to brutalize people? How are they not going to abuse people on road?
So, President Bola Tinubu has approved the National Construction and Household Support Program during the National Economic Council meeting on Thursday in Abuja. So it is no longer that they are passing bill, it has been approved.
Exactly the point.
No longer bill passing. According to a statement issued by the presidential spokesperson, who is Ajuri Ngelale, the program is aimed at boosting agricultural productivity, strengthening the economy and providing immediate economic relief for Nigerian households. Ngelale added that the program, which was supported by NEC, includes financial allocations and infrastructure projects across all geopolitical zones in the country. He added that a key component of the program is the approval of 50,000 naira uplift grant to be distributed to 100,000 families per state for 3 months. So it is not that the old Nigerians we have, they will pick 100,000 from the old Nigerians. From each state, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000.
So,
come to Lagos State.
Do you know? What is the population of Lagos State? Do you even know that they are going to politicize it because they believe their political loyalists were those that are going to benefit, and not every one of them. How many of them? How many political loyalists are there here in Lagos State here?
Obviously.
And that 100,000 naira that you are talking of, if care is not taken, you later discover that it was only 10,000 naira that was given to those people, and they will have to come and sign for 100,000 naira.
Let's go on a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue from where we stop. Don't go nowhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
When life breaks into the beautiful splendor of nature, and the kids can't just resist the temptation to explore to its zenith with the full assurance that the perfect backup is on the way for a perfect refilling. Nokpa, we always come to the rescue anytime, anywhere, any day, anyway, anyhow, round the clock. The family just can't get a better companion aside Nokpa. Nokpa Herbal Mixture, the family's best bet.
With Nokpa, healthy living is guaranteed for me and my family.
Nokpa for management of power.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. That's our sponsor, Nokpa Herbals. They deal with Nokpa Herbal Cool, Herbal Tonic, Herbal Bitters, Herbal Energy Flusher, Herbal Powder. Whichever you need, you can send a DM or call the number 070101085549. You can as well place your advert on this show or any show on WYTV, and you can as well be a sponsor for this show. Just send a DM or call the number 070101085549. So before we went on that commercial break, we're talking about the 50,000 naira grant for as many that are just joining. We're talking about the 50,000 naira grant for 100,000 families in Nigeria, and not Nigeria as a whole. Each state, the 100,000 families will be picked in each state. So I was wondering, if we go to the largest city in Nigeria, which is Oyo State, which is in Ibadan, how many families? Because I look every day, we look around us, my front, my back, we see people that wallow in abject poverty.
Do you know how many messages that I've received today? Urgent 1K. Urgent 1K. Even from those people that I didn't expect that they send a message. Giving? How many have I given? I can only do the little ones that I will because I believe I can't please anybody. Now let me turn back to federal government. It was like they don't even really know what they are going there to do.
Exactly.
It was like the way I'm seeing what the president is doing presently in Nigeria, it was like he just want to mark a registered that he was one of those that govern the affairs of this country. That is exactly what is there in my mind.
I said it when the whole thing came out from his statement. Because the statement did not connote somebody that is just coming there to say, I want to bring the poor out of poverty.
Poverty, yes.
He said it with affirmation like it is his birthright. Emilokon. And he said it in an interview again.
The president didn't know what he's going there to do.
He said it in an interview. He said, I have been making people yes, so it is time for me to be made.
That he has been serving people, that it's time for him to be served. Even if it is time for you to be served, those people that you serve, when they were there, did they really bring a policy, I'm sorry to have used that language, a policy that is going to affect your own, that is going to affect you? Not at all. Do you know how many companies are folding up every blessed day, living this country, putting people in disarray? Do you know how many families that have lost their job based on the companies that they are working with that have left Nigeria? Do you know how many Nigerians that are unable to put food on their table? Many housewives have turned to Olosho, looking for how they are going to survive and their children, under the watchword of Babalokan Tinubu, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And you don't really think anything, you don't really think something is missing to do, you don't really think that something went wrong with you, with the way you govern this country?
Now, Ngelale revealed that another 155 billion naira was earmarked for the purchase and distribution of assorted foodstuff across the nation to address concerns.
That is not our problem presently for now. What we need is for the price of the fuel to come down by fixing the refinery. Then if there is no lasting solution, open the border for a while. Open the border that they have shut during the past administration, Muhammadu Buhari, that they have opened it for a while. Let food come in. Let people import food let people buy food on their own expense. Not for you to be saying, okay, you want to bring food. What about the palliative that were being distributed? How many households got the palliative? Did you get the palliative?
Which palliative?
The palliative that I was supposed to get in my own community, 5 kg of rice was given to our own community that we have almost 60 houses. When people came out and started protesting, when people came out and started talking about, do you know what they did? They said those palliatives were meant for the poor, not for the rich. When the first subsidy was removed, was it removed from the rich men alone?
No. There's a saying that says, since I was born and now I am grown up, I have not seen where Nigerians that actually enjoy one day of
There's freedom. A gospel song writer, singer, Baba Ayewa.
Okay.
That the man is getting old now. Okay. He sang a song there. I was so baffled that.
Hope it's not.
It was like the song he sang there was what put Nigeria into disarray today. Because that time Aye has never baje.
But now
when he sang
when he sat down to write the song, when he sang the song, it was already there. People were already getting corrupt, but not the way it is right now.
Listen, Aye has never baje during that period. Aye has never gotten rotten during that period. When
because I'm only for somebody to have sang that song.
I didn't mean it was now that he sang that song, then we will not.
It is still an evergreen song.
I know it's still an evergreen song, but during that period, the song is over 30 years ago now. That's 30 years back. What was the economic status then compared to the hell that we are facing in Nigeria today?
It discussed that the program will also cater to infrastructural projects, including the Sokoto-Badagry Highway, which will traverse 7 states and is considered key for agricultural sustainability. He added that the states along this axis form the food belt of the nation. So from those states, they can actually be... And those states, he actually said, in addition to the project, Ngilali said the NEC approved the allocation of 10 billion naira to each state and the Federal Capital Territory for the procurement of buses and implementation of the compressed natural gas uplift program.
You see, let me tell you this. The facts still remain that 10 billion naira for 36 states is how much? 36 billion naira. Isn't it?
Is it 36 or 360?
For 36 states.
Yeah, you can continue what you're saying.
Okay.
I'll get it.
It is 36, 10 billion. Okay. 10 billion, Abi?
Yes, sir.
It's 36 billion.
Okay,
36 states, we have 36 states.
Okay, sir.
36 billion naira. If that 36 billion is spent on our refinery, do you think the refinery will not work?
It will.
Even the refinery that was being established by Dangote, do you know Nigeria has a share there?
Yeah, obviously.
There was no negotiation now. Because I believe, before the commencement of the refinery, before the refinery kicks off, there should be an agreement between Dangote. What will be the percentage of Nigeria? Even the land that the refinery was built on, the land was given free of charge.
Dangote himself came out and said, I never knew oil mafias were more dangerous than drug mafias.
The land was given out free of charge was given to Dangote to build refinery. Then most of the equipment that was being imported was duty free. Do you know how much Emefiele signed and gave to Dangote when they were building those refineries? Now they said the refinery belongs to Dangote. He is the initiator of that refinery.
Yeah.
What is going to be the percentage of the Nigeria? These are some of the questions that we need to ask ourselves. If 36 billion naira is being released to state, if that 36 billion naira was spent on the refinery starts working today, the PMX price will drop, the food price in the market will drop, and let the president also work on the area of insecurity. Yeah. If there is security today, do you know how many farmers that were unable, that don't have access to their farm
anymore,
that were being sacked from their farm and their village, that were being displaced? Many of them were living in the IDP camp.
We have one happening right now in the north.
Some of those things
where the
president needs to work on.
Where the bandits is asking for 20 million naira as tax.
20 million naira in the north.
Each household is being given 50,000 naira. And traditional rulers are giving 1 million naira. We have the governor that are governing the affairs of that state. And the 10 billion naira will be released to state now. Out of the money, 5 billion naira will go to the governor's purse. The 5 billion naira will now go to the state. Those are in charge, the executive, that they believe they are also cabal for the state. We first take part of it before sharing the stipends. I pray Nigeria work again. This is a clarion call to the federal government that 50,000 naira is not actually what we need in Nigeria. We need a long-lasting solution, something that we would see, and yes, we'll remember your government for good. All right, I've come to the end of the show. Let's talk. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, on our Facebook, on our YouTube, on our X accounts, on our TikTok, on our Instagram, even on our WhatsApp community on 070101085549. You can drop whatever might be happening in your community, ask us to see it, and deliver judgments whatever you send. Thank you, Ambassador Rilua Rotimi, for joining. Till we come again on your screen, our sponsor remains Nokpa Herbals. Be good and be fine. Bye for now.